Okay, I keep making this video. This is the third video I made of this. But what happens is every time I lift the camera up, there's cars with their license plates all over the place, and I don't have the software to blur those out. So I'm not gonna move my camera. I'm just gonna tell my story here. So I bought a hamburger today at Burger King. 2 of them. This is my second Whopper here because I'm doing a science experiment. Today's Monday, the 29th of September. It's my cheat day. So that means I could pig out today and not exercise. So my science experiment is come next week. I'm gonna get this hamburger maybe at 11 because right now it's 1:12:22, right? So 12:2222. There's that number 222, right? I told you that every time I look at the time, it's always what 2222. There it is again. That's what I mean. That always happens to me. So my science experiment is this. You want to think of this hamburger and that there as being the evil grandmother, evil grandfather, but these vegetables being the good grandmother and good grandfather. But it's like a neutral food. It's not good for us because of the sodium and all the potassium and the fat, right? There's a lot of fat in it, so that's not good for us, especially when you overindulge. So I ate 2 of them. That's gluttony. If I had eaten just one, that's not gluttony. But having 2 of them, gluttony. They're 660 calories each, which means I just put in 1,200 calories into my body, not to mention this big drink and my onion rings. So that's negative food. So it's my hopes that if I was to run next Monday with this food at 12 o'clock as opposed to 2 o'clock, that the invisible electromagnetic radiation wave that passes through my body at high noon would connect me to this side of the creation. This would be like the invisible electromagnetic radiation wave, right? That's what that is. And then these onions would think of that as being the hydrogen and fire electrons is binding to that wave. Because this is electricity. When it turns into energy in my body, it becomes electricity. Those invisible electromagnetic radiation waves, that's electricity. So I'm doing a science experiment to try to bind the earth protons and fire electrons to that wave. Unfortunately, I can't run today because it's 12. I was going to run out at 12, so tomorrow I'll start running at 12. So that's just today's epiphany. I'm going to try to eat junk food next Monday on my day off, and then go for a run utilizing the electricity that comes from the food, with the expectations of sucking the life force from this side here, which is the evil side, and putting this side here, which is the good side, onto that using the hydrogen of the universe, so that we could talk to a parallel universe, a worst case scenario, or bring my spaceships in here, best case scenario. So now, there's a particular scene with Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction where he asked the guy where they said, "What are you guys having here?" He's like, "Oh, we're having breakfast." "Oh, hamburgers, the cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast." So that's what I'm having, right? I'm having a hamburger. This is my breakfast. So he says, "What kind of hamburgers?" And then the guy says, "Cheeseburgers." And then he says, No, where'd you get them?" He says, Jack in the Box, White Castle, McDonald's. And then the guy says, Big Kahuna Burger. Big Kahuna Burger. That's that Hawaiian place. I hear they got some good burgers, but I ain't never had any. So what he's talking about there, the Big Kahuna, basically, I think it's one time a year at a certain town in Hawaii, the sun is directly overhead by 90 degrees. Like if you were to look up into the sky at that one particular time of year, the sun is shining down 90 degrees. So you see how you can look down in the star or in my straw there? Right there. So that would be 90 degrees. But do you see how the shadow is here? So that one time a year, this is where the sun is here, and it doesn't cast any shadows. You wouldn't see a shadow here because the sun is shining down on that town 90 degrees. So think of this straw as being the town. Once a year in Hawaii, it does that. So if I was to run in that town with that invisible electromagnetic radiation wave, so here we go. So if this is the town, let's say that that circle represents 10 miles and the sun is shining down on it, it's not casting a shadow anywhere. If I was to run here for 22 minutes, the invisible electromagnetic radiation wave would be penetrating my body right here in that town. Right in that town, it would be penetrating my body. So that's where I want to get to. I want to get to that town. But to get there, I need to survive. Because that might be the time when I can actually bind the hydrogen earth protons and fire electrons to the invisible electromagnetic radiation wave, because that wave would actually be penetrating my body as I'm running in that little town circle there. As I'm running through there for 22 minutes, it would be penetrating my body. And that's what might bind the hydrogen to the wave, allowing us to talk to a parallel universe, or allowing them to bring their spaceships in here. So to do that, I need to remain alive. That's why we're militarizing Gray and Bruce County. Paying everyone $100,000 as hush money, so leave me alone, not harm me, and enjoy life with $100 grand. You don't have to do anything except exercise once a day for 22 minutes and confess your sins and do whatever you want. And so we'll have military presence here from America and Canada. They can protect us from a nuclear strike. It can make sure that nobody can come in here and bomb me, and make sure nobody can come in here and snipe me. The water's patrolled, the airways will be patrolled, all the roads will be patrolled. The only thing that can come in or out, I'm gonna allow UPS and stuff like that, because you guys will have all that money in your pocket. You'll be wanting to buy stuff from Amazon. So those Amazon trucks and stuff will have to come in here, but they'll have to be checked at the military roadblock to make sure that they're not fake trucks trying to deliver fake products that are full of bombs. So there'd have to be an x-ray machine there or something to check all the products out before they come in here. So that's the plan. That's today's plan. It's today's epiphany. It's not really epiphany. It's like it's a battle strategy. And the battle strategy includes Gray and Bruce County protecting me, along with Canada and the United States, so that I can get to Hawaii and run under the sun. But it also happens in other places like Africa, right? That sun passes over in Africa as well, in one particular town. I can't remember which one. So once I figure out where that sun passes over top 90 degrees, you can be rest assured I'll be running there each day, every year, until we open up a communication with the parallel universe, or until they come here. So there's an airport over here called the Billy Bishop. It's a pretty big airport. That Air Force One could land here, so I'll probably use Air Force One to fly over to these places where I can run under the sun, and I'll get Mother to run under the sun. Both of us will be running under there for 22 minutes. Until we can rescue everyone. So that's today's epiphany and battle plan strategy. I thought you guys should know about it, so you can understand, that particular scene in Pulp Fiction. So I'll put it on after this. And I was like, hamburgers, the cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast. What it means is hamburgers. Where'd you get them? The hamburger is a metaphor for UFO, because the hamburger is shaped like a UFO, right? UFOs! Where'd you get them? The universe up top? I ain't never been there before. I hear they got some really good UFOs, the kind that can destroy evil civilizations in the Milky Way. That's what he means when you hear him talk, right? He's being sarcastic. That's why he's talking about the hamburger. That's my spirit being sarcastic to evil, to let them know that I'm onto them. Because if I go over to Hawaii and I have a big kahuna burger and I run with that energy, and I use the energy of the hamburger, which is it's negative, as I'm powering my body with evil electricity, I'm sucking the life force out of those evil spirits while binding the hydrogen atom to the wave over Hawaii. That's what he's talking about. I need to eat a hamburger in Hawaii, junk food, and go run underneath the sun when it's 90 degrees over top to bind that hydrogen atom to it. When that happens, you better watch out, man. So that's what he's talking about. So you guys now know the subliminal language behind the Pulp Fiction scene. So I'll include that after this video, so it'll make sense, because now you know all the information of what he's talking about there. Now the other part about that is he talks about lost children. Ezekiel 25:17. He's the finder of lost children. The lost children means, my third eye blind children here that are lost. They think I'm the bad guy, but I'm the good guy. So they're lost. There's other children here that, have been abandoned, or you're going to be abandoned by your civilizations because we're out to get them. So you're lost. You're the lost children. You're the lost children that I've found and who have to be adopted. You're being adopted by me and Mom. You're not going home. You're going to live here forever with us. So that's what he's talking about, the finder of lost children. So now when he gets really upset at the end, that's real. That will happen for real. Anybody that yip yaps. So please don't yip yap, because I don't want to have to be an a-hole, because I'm not an a-hole. But I'm not a pushover. I won't put up with nonsense. So I'll just include that video as the thing. I won't include any music. This is a hamburger song. Yeah, I'll play a hamburger song. Mean Gun, it'll be for you. It's Salisbury Hill by Peter Gabriel. Salisbury Hill is it's connected to Salisbury steak. It's spelled the same, Salsbury. Salisbury Hill is about my son, Mean Gun. I remember we were driving down the road once, Mean Gun, and I said, "Here, listen to that song. Remember this, Mean Gun? It's about me picking you up and bringing you home." Because my son has been, he's living in a kinship agreement with my mom. When I first woke up, I ended up on the psychiatric ward, so the people were worried about that, and they intervened and took him out of my ex's care. So he lives with my mom. So the song Salisbury Hill is connected to the Salisbury steak, which is a hamburger. So it basically means hamburger hill. So there's a hill I got to climb up. To get to the top, I have to eat hamburgers. So I'm assuming I have to eat a hamburger in Hawaii because of the Big Kahuna Burger in order to do what I'm trying to do here. So I'm researching a scientific way to try to save us, in other words, by eating junk food and running with evil electricity under the sun so we can bind the hydrogen to that wave. So I got to climb up Hamburger Hill or Salisbury Hill. And Mean Gun, it means pack your things. I've come to take you home. And what did I say? But that's one day you're going to understand what this means, Mean Gun. So the song is for my son. Pack your things, Mean Gun. I've come to take you home. Salisbury Hill by Peter Gabriel. I'm Peter Griffin, Family Guy, and I'm, Gabriel. He's an angel. So that's what Peter Gabriel's about, Mean Gun.